On the last video, I don't know why I told you to stop at 12. You can actually do all the way to 16. So I'm just going to go on to 17 here, but if you don't have them finished, just finish them after this video. So just a reminder about the models of the atom that we talked about. So the very first model of the atom, the very first person to think about atoms was the guy named Democritus, which has this simplest version of the atom that has nothing in it. And then it was picked up later on by John Dalton. And these were the first, I'm going to kind of draw a diagram here to keep these separated. These two were the first people to think about the idea of atoms, to think about the idea that matter was made of atoms. So the major discovery that characterized this was that matter is made of atoms. But Democritus and John Dalton, remember, said that it was indivisible. But then J.J. Thomson came around, and sometimes we call this the plum pudding model. And J.J. Thomson said, well, really, there are electrons inside of the atom. So he was the first person to think about electrons. And so that's why he has that model. And then we have Rutherford next. Rutherford did the gold foil experiment, remember? And he found that when he shot alpha particles here, most of them went through, but some of them bounced off the nucleus and bounced back. And so he was the first one to think, oh, there must be a nucleus in the atom. And then Bohr came around and said, well, electrons have fixed orbits. That says Bohr, not Bonn. So those are the main parts of the atom. And Bohr is pretty similar to what we believe now. If we were to draw what we believe now, right, we think that there are protons and neutrons in the nucleus, and then there's an electron cloud outside the nucleus. That's the modern view. So that should help you again with number 19. So what I'd like you to do now, so take a minute to answer question 19, and then I'll go over and help you with the next page. Let's see here. So remember that atomic number is always equal to the number of protons in an atom, whereas the mass number equals the protons plus the neutrons. And the reason why we don't include electrons in it is because electrons are too small. And so they don't contribute very much to the mass. All right, so given that, you should be able to answer, let me look here, you should be able to answer the rest of them from there. All right, so go ahead and finish the rest of the packet, and then the sub will collect that from you.